This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com.
I'm Yasi Salek, and I'm the host of Bandsplain, a show where we explain cult bands and iconic artists by going deep into their histories and discographies. We're back with a brand new season at our brand new home, the Ringer Podcast Network, tackling a whole new batch of artists, from grunge gods to power pop pioneers to nu metal legends, and many, many more. Listen to new episodes every Thursday, only on Spotify.
Welcome to Bachelor Party. It's the fun stuff. It's time for Bachelor Paradise, or as my co-host Callie Curry says, Bachelors in Paradise. Callie, hello.
Hello. Do you feel the energy? Like, just how refreshing is this?
It feels great. I just feel like happy to be on the beach, happy to see a lot of people just being wacky, just, really enjoying myself. Here, I have 2 complaints. I'm just going to get off right away. Ready?
Okay, yeah, let's get these out of the way.
Number 1, too much kissing. Just like, even in like just the trailers, like too much kissing and too much kissing sounds.
Kissing sounds, I agree with you. Kissing, we need it. It raises the level of drama. It raises the stakes.
Sure. It's more the sounds. I'm not like anti-kissing, but
there was a few kisses that really didn't bother me.
Like what?
We'll talk about it, but
all right, great.
Usually I'm like,
hate kissing. This is huge.
Hate. But I found myself twice being like, don't mind. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, that's great. There's room for growth for everyone. Here's my second complaint. They clearly knew when this was going to air that it would be late September, like probably into November. And they keep talking about like this summer on the beach. And I understand that usually the show is on during the summer and it films during the summer. But for me, I've moved on. Like, I'm just like, it's here in New York. It was like 75 today and I was like sweating and I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm ready to be wearing long sleeves.
No, today's weather was perfection.
Yes, it was really nice. But like, I'm just ready to move on mentally and like prepare for chillier times. So this like call back to summer is not working for me. But that's a small complaint.
It works for me. And I was talking to my Bachelor group chat about this.
I didn't know you had a group chat that I wasn't a part of. Wow.
I have had a group chat like for years.
Do you test out your takes to see how people feel?
Did, but unfortunately they all dropped off on the Michelle
they're lucky
season. Yeah, Michelle was the last season they watched. And for some reason, they're like, 2 of them are thinking about watching Zach's season.
Why?
What
about Zach? Whoa.
They were like, oh, I really enjoy watching The Bachelor when it's cold outside.
Huh. So it's seasonal for everyone.
Yeah, I was like, I guess. I was like, this is the worst possible choice. So I don't know if you guys are going to change your mind because they didn't watch last season. So they don't even know.
That he sucks.
Like, to them, he just looks like an average Bachelor contestant. Like, they look at him and they're like, what do you mean? He looks better than Clayton.
I guess. I just hate him. Oh, we didn't discuss it. Oh, yeah, we did. Clayton and Susie broke up. Sorry, then we'll get back to Paradise, but they're over.
I didn't discuss it with you.
No, you and I just texted about it, but yes. They broke up.
They did break up. Not that. I'm shocked they lasted as long as they did, truthfully.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, or like maybe a couple months ago at this point, they said they were like no longer going to be living together. And so but they're like, but our relationship is still great. So I guess the writing was on the wall. I assume they waited until after the finale to get as little attention about this as possible. So
maybe. It also doesn't seem like it's like a bad breakup.
Yeah.
Seems pretty amicable.
I think that they just probably knew this wasn't it. But they're both young. They'll figure it out. Good luck to them both. Anyway, back to Paradise. Those are my complaints. What about you, Callie? Any complaints? And then we're going to go super posy.
I don't have very many complaints because I am so excited. This is my favorite part of the franchise. Like, I wish they just did this 3 times a year somehow.
I know.
A winter version would be interesting.
Well, they did try that once.
Cabo's always going to be Cabo. Like, you can always go.
It's Puerto Vallarta.
Not go.
But still, it still applies.
Oh, I mean, sorry, not Cabo. I didn't even mean to say Cabo. I meant to say Mexico as a whole. Like, they don't even have to have it there. They can go somewhere else. But it's always good weather. If anything, it gets like a little hot, but like they could go at any time of year. They could do this. It's possible 3 times a year if they wanted to.
It's true. The only reason they really need the Bachelor is like for the feeder system. And we've seen on the challenge what happens when they move away from the anchor core show. Dilutes the brand. But still love the challenge. Still here on season 38.
I watch all the episodes. I even watched the All-Stars on
Paramount.
Yeah.
I watch it too.
Paramount. And I even watched the challenge on CBS.
Plug, if you also watch these shows, check out the Ringer Reality TV podcast where we have Johnny Bananas recapping the challenge. We have Tyson recapping Survivor. Sometimes they go on each other's shows and we all love the challenge over there. So check it out. We also are recapping Bravo on Fridays. Callie, Rachel Lindsay, Jody Walker, many other of our colleagues. And now we're doing the Kardashians on Mondays. And Great British Bake Off on Saturdays. I did
not know that you guys were doing Kardashians on Monday. I'm not a Bake Off person.
I've been watching Junior Bake Off to go to sleep, which is like kids doing recipes. It's really cute and really soothing.
I've watched like the Top Chef kids version of that.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy it, but it's also shocking how much better at cooking they are than me.
Yeah. I mean, the things that these kids
I think I'm a good
can
cook, but they're like souffling shit at 4.
Just check it out. I think it could be worth it. Anyway, I keep taking us off path here. Paradise. So a lot of people came and not so much happened, but to cover it all, we are going to do some superlatives. I made up a list. We will share our answers. We've not discussed this beforehand, and who knows what else will come up along the way. But to begin, quick Jesse Palmer conversation. You know, I love Jesse. I'm a super fan. Didn't look so comfortable on the sand. Seemed like it was like hard for him to walk.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's going on here? I'm not sure Jesse's really meant for Mexico.
Also, did he have pants on at one point?
He was wearing pants at the beginning and they fit horribly and he looked bad.
Yeah. I mean,
did something happen to Carrie? Like the stylist? Like what's going on here? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't know. And then I DM'd you that immediately following the show, I've seen Rachel in 2 outfits that she looks amazing in. It's perplexing that she couldn't wear this while on the show.
I know Rachel does look so much better now. Maybe she's just happier. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, our first superlative. Callie, who has the best glow up? We haven't seen a lot of these people in a long time. Who caught your eye?
For the most part, I think everyone looks great. So let me just start there. I did not like one person's.
Was it Brittany? Brittany's the one who came in part of the way through Matt James' season and was accused of being an escort.
No. I have a note for Brittany that I thought she looked really cute.
I like her. I just thought she looked a little, to quote the awful Hayden, a little rough around the edges, literally.
Really?
Yeah, I just think she hasn't nailed what to do with her hair with the humidity. Yeah. She'll get there.
That's tough. I think there was a few people that struggled with it. Like Serene's hair looked insane, but she's so pretty. I mean, she's just so pretty. And I remember like at one point I was just like, it must be really humid because her hair is struggling. And my hair would be the exact same as hers. So I think maybe that's why I kind of noticed it. But I was also like, it's weird that it doesn't bother me because she's so pretty.
She's just beautiful. Her smile is like so bright. It's crazy.
No, lace. I didn't like, she was dressed weird. and her eyelashes were too long.
Lace kind of reminded me of the Bachelor version of Austin Powers. It's like she's been cryogenically frozen for the last 7 years, and they just defrosted her, and she came right back, and everything was like exactly the same and still as messy.
Yeah, you know what I was going to say? One thing that you could give to Lace, she has not aged. She looks the same.
She looks great.
Yeah, she looks
great.
the same. I just didn't like her style and her lashes.
Yeah, like I said, it's very... first of all, I cannot believe it's been 7 years since Ben Higgins was the Bachelor. Like,
doesn't feel that long.
Where has the time gone? Oh my God.
Yeah, it is really crazy. But I guess he is married now, so...
Yeah, I went to Ben's night one and I was like so obsessed with him. And I remember meeting him and I was like, oh my God, he's so dreamy. And like, I just can't believe that was 7 years ago because I remember it so clearly.
Well, I don't think you
Crazy.
would do that today, so you've grown.
Thank you.
Back to your original question.
Best glow up.
I think I got to give it to Michael A. His body looks great and he got like 5-star reviews from every woman on the beach.
I know. Do you think that's partially because the expectations for him were low? So he was like really exceeded them? Because like he always seemed like a nice guy.
Always a nice guy. But like we talked about it. Post Katie, he definitely was feeling himself. Like his Instagram presence did a 180 from before the show. Like he was into it. So people I think he thought he was a DILF going on to the show. I think most of the women probably thought that. And then for them to think he's even hotter, I'm like, he must really be good looking. I mean, he looks good looking on the on TV, but he must be better in person, which I think most of these people tend to be better in person.
They also made it seem like, yes, I definitely agree with that. All of the women made it seem like Michael A. listened to them and actually engaged when they were talking. And I think that also he's much older than basically everyone else there. And so he probably has a level of emotional intelligence that many of the guys don't. Like, for example, Johnny definitely does not. And so I think that
he's
they
having
also
a tough time connecting.
I think that they were responding to that too. But even Jesse mentioned it right up top that he was cut. So I guess he's been hitting the gym in the last year and a half.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Michael A. What about you?
I think it was clearly him, but I think other than him, I'm going to go with Jill. I think Jill, she, from her time on Clayton season to now, I just was sort of like, okay, sure. She just feel like she put in some work. I'm just saying it's not about the absolute, where they're at, but from where they came.
Totally. Yeah. She looks the exact same to me.
I feel like she really watched a lot of makeup tutorials. That was the vibe I was getting from her.
I think she seems to, I was going to say maybe have more confidence, but I don't even know because she struggled.
I think we just didn't get to see her before.
I mean, yeah, we literally didn't know who she was. Barely.
I mean, on that note, we have to mention Bailey, who... No idea who Bailey is. I don't think I've ever seen her before.
I'm not sure if she was on the show.
They claim that she was, but she also just seemed so nervous. Everything having to do with her was incredibly weird.
I don't think she was on the show. We've never said her name.
No, never. I don't even remember doing her bio. It just must have been so boring. I don't know. I don't get it.
Or, I mean, she must have been eliminated night one, which they rarely have people night one.
Once in a while. You get the grocery store Joes of the bunch every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're going to see that from Bailey, but she's not going to have that type of...
No, she's going soon. On that note, let's talk about the most surprising couple because they coupled up quickly. Not everyone, but there's a lot of couples after one episode.
Yes, but... This is the first. So last season, we kind of got it, but not really. This season, people knew who was going to be at the beach. They didn't know when, obviously, but they know who's going. And they have picked who they want.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
They've called dibs. So here are some of the couples to choose from. Serene and Brandon. I mean, they was waiting for each other. They must have DM'd. I mean, they were just like ready to go, even though they said it was their first meeting, which I was so surprised by.
I think it is the first time. How nervous they were, like, shaking, talking to each other.
Brandon seemed like a new person from the last time we saw him with Michelle. Like, his confidence level so high.
No, you just didn't like him.
Yeah, because he didn't have a swagger.
And he was fucking next to Nate and Joe, two of the best looking people we've ever had on The Bachelorette.
That's true, but he still had no swagger. He just reminded me of like a young person. Yes.
Nate posted this video today where he literally looks flawless. I'll send it to you.
He's really hot.
I was like, wow. He is hot, obviously, but this is like, I was taken aback.
He'd be a great bachelor. That was a great call by you. They should have done that. Maybe in the future. All right, so we got Brandon and Serene. That was honestly shocking to me. I don't really know why, but I just wasn't expecting it. We've got Shanae and Tarzan, which
not shocking.
I guess not. We have Teddy and Andrew S.
Not that shocking.
No. And then who else was there? I can't even remember.
Sierra and Michael A.
Oh yeah, and Sierra and Michael A.
That was my pick for most surprising couple.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know how old Sierra is. Her skin makes me think she's 12, so it's really hard to tell. But I'm like, I would expect him to go for like one of the older women. And maybe she is.
She's 27, which I think does put her at the older end of the spectrum, unfortunately.
And her maturity level is totally fine. But I was just like shocked. And they actually seemed like their conversation was probably the most real conversation anyone had. And I actually enjoyed it.
He's definitely the breakout star so far. I mean, he has like, he's both funny and charismatic. He has like a real personality. He's like funny about his son. I mean, I think right now, if we were doing like homecoming king and queen of Paradise, he would definitely be the king. There's no competition. I have to say,
I don't know if we have a queen yet, but I would agree with you on king.
On the Andrew and Teddy front, I was a little surprised by that. I don't know why. I guess I don't have a sense of like who Andrew is into, but I kind of like found him. I was like, I miss Instagram Andrew, who had a little bit more of like a
swag.
More swag and like just seemed like more in his element. I feel like, does Andrew know how to thrive without Greg by his side? Like, I'm kind of worried.
I truly had the same question. I was like, he's so nervous. And like, obviously Teddy is so pretty, but I'm like, this doesn't feel like the same energy that we've gotten from Andrew in every other instance. And I'm like, is it because Greg's not there?
I know. It's like, you've got Justin. Do you need something else too? I was really surprised at how nervous he was. And I guess I also just was surprised that he went straight to Teddy. I guess I'm just surprised that like the virgin thing was not intimidating for him or like somehow like something he felt like they needed to cover. I mean, and, you know, maybe she's not a virgin anymore. And I'm also not saying he should feel that way, but I do think that like some guys just, you know, feel psyched out by that. So I found that everything having to do with them surprising.
This is probably very stereotypical of me. But I just assumed they'd be attracted to each other.
Because they're both attractive?
No, they're both attractive. They're both black. They're both... The group of people they hang out with seems like they would be
overlap.
In the same friend group.
Teddy seems
her being
beloved.
A virgin also like completely escaped my mind until she said it in her. Like I knew she was coming on the show. I was like, oh, she's going to be a hot commodity.
Yeah.
And then when she was like Virgin Teddy, I was like, oh fuck, she's a virgin, right?
Yeah. I was just surprised, I guess, but I think she seems beloved. She must be just really easygoing and like fun to be around because everyone seems to like her. And I remember that from Clayton season 2.
Yeah. No one ever disliked her.
Yeah. She's just like friends with everyone. I think that she and Gabby were tight, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Also, it's probably a good sign if you're that pretty and people still like you.
That's a great point. Really good point. She just seems kind of like mild-mannered in a good way.
Their conversation wasn't great to me.
It was super awkward. Also, that reminds me, he painted his toenail as like a conversation piece. Yeah. That was like really like just random. I was just like, is this like a thing people do? And also, he seems like he needs to have a lot of shtick. Like he came in doing the British accent with like the Bridgerton thing on Katie's season. And I just feel like I feel like he should be a podcaster because like he likes to have bits. And so I don't know that he's the best hang, to be honest, even though he seems great on Instagram.
I love Andrew, but I am very worried with him without Greg.
Yeah. He needs his wingman.
By the way, like if Greg were on this solo, I don't know if he'd be great either. I feel like they're like better.
Yeah, they're just
together.
Like made for each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like Dumb and Dumber kind of. Not that they're dumb, but just sort of, they belong together.
Also,
maybe they should be dual bachelors.
Not to backtrack, but I'm so happy that you're more on the Brandon train because like he really just came down, did his little dance. I loved all of it.
I like a guy with swagger who is decisive and just like goes for it. I don't know if that's like retrograde, but that's just how I feel.
His dance
most of these guys are betas.
Goofy, but like you have to be confident to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Kind of like wearing the leaf.
No.
I didn't care for that either.
Those.
But when we get to Bachelor in Paradise, I feel like just like all of my most horrible instincts about men and dating come out. And I'm just like, yeah, I like an alpha male who just pursues the woman that they want. I just sound like such an retrograde asshole.
Definitely not that.
No. But I like him more because he's found his swagger on television, at least that I can see. So,
okay.
This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need, have coverage options to protect the things you value most, file a claim right on the State Farm mobile app, and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Most surprising person. Not the couple that surprised you the most, but like whose just overall presentation was the most surprising for you?
It's a toss-up for me.
Okay.
I don't know who Bailey is, so why are you there? I don't understand what's going on with Lace. And how the fuck is Kira a doctor? Those
all
two
good
people,
questions, Callie.
For different reasons, were surprising to me.
Let's take it one at a time because I think we just need to address all of those because they're great questions. So Bailey, is her name Bailey or Haley, by the way? I was like pretty sure
Bailey.
It's Bailey, but I've never
Haley?
heard this. I think it might actually be Haley.
No.
It actually turns out that we've been calling her Bailey for the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Her name is Haley.
I'm pretty sure that her subtitle said Bailey.
I really think it said Bailey too.
Where I'm like, we texted during watching it and we both said Bailey.
Yeah. I'm so confused.
Either they got it wrong, and if they did, also not surprising, nobody knows who she is. And that also just tells me that she's not going to be there long because they didn't even care to fix it.
I mean, we'll have to go back and look, I guess. But yeah, I'm just going to keep calling her Bailey. Though I guess her name is actually Haley. I just find this so shocking.
I'm so confused.
Me too. She was eliminated in week 1 of Clayton's season. She's a pediatric nurse. She lives in Florida.
Maybe
She's
they
from
got
Orlando.
it wrong on the website.
I don't know. We'll follow up next week. But it's seriously so absurd. Okay, so that's Haley / Bailey. And then Lace. So the best thing about Lace was that she made up that it was her birthday and Wells just went along with it. So everyone thought it was. And she said she was turning 32. I saw that Romeo posted on Instagram that he didn't find out until like today that it wasn't actually her birthday. He thought it this whole time. So that's like pretty amazing. And then the most fun thing after that was that Logan was talking to her and had no idea what her name was and just called her Luce, like her name was Lucy or something.
I actually really enjoyed that part because she was genuinely pissed.
She was
also,
so pissed.
Logan's face was like...
He was appalled. Yeah, he felt bad. Kind of.
I felt like he was embarrassed, but also he was like, what? Like he was confident with Luce, but I wrote down during the show, I'm like, when he was like, how old are you? And he's like, happy birthday, 32. I was like, oh, he doesn't know her name. And then like 2 seconds later, he was like, Luce. And I was like, Luce what?
That was such a great move. I absolutely loved it. It made me like
shouldn't
Logan
have
more.
said her name. The 32 went over fine. She didn't even notice it.
And then she did afterwards when she called him out on it. Or I guess only when he called her Luce.
Luce, yeah. Why did he go in so confidently with Luce? You weren't confident enough to sing it in a song.
I think you're underrating how drunk they all are. But
also, Luce is just not her name.
It was so funny. Logan is such a dummy. I actually, like, based on nothing, I'm starting to like him more. For some reason, I'm like rooting for Logan. I think it's because I saw that our pal Kate Gallivan makes out with him. So now I'm like, well, if Kate likes him, he has to be good. So
in the rain.
Anyway, let's talk about Kira, which then leads into my most surprising, which I think is Romeo. So for me, not only is Kira a doctor, she also recently got her MBA. She went to Harvard for undergrad.
She went to Harvard?
Yeah, when Romeo is like, oh, we actually went to school together. The school he means is Harvard. They both went to Harvard. And she's now an attending physician at the University of Pennsylvania. She's like clearly really smart and accomplished. And in another life, she says she would have been a stripper. And like everything about Kira is really surprising. And like, there no judgments at all, but I just think when you look at someone's resume and you're like Harvard, Penn, doctor, MBA, this is not what you're expecting to see on Paradise at all.
I'm shocked.
I know.
But let's forget about Luce and Bailey Haley. She is the most surprising person. That is insane. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think that. Like,
her personality just seems really, really weird.
But don't you think if you were like in that position, you're not going on the show?
I think you're
not like crawling through the sand and talking about being in the boom boom room 24/7. Like, obviously do whatever you want. No judgment there. It's more so I've never seen a physician do it. So
a few things about that. Number one, agreed, do whatever you want. Go to the boom boom room all day. Like, get yours if that's what you want. But also she made the point that there's air conditioning there, which I really related to. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'd also want to be there as well.
When they were showing the rooms, the women started jumping up and down. And I was like, there's no way it is too hot to jump up and down.
Just awful. So I agreed with that. Number two, I have to assume she's not that happy with her chosen life path. Otherwise, there's no explanation at all. But yeah, it's pretty shocking. Also, like, I think she does pediatrics, if I remember correctly. Actually, no, she's just regular medicine. But like, let's say that Callie used to live in Philly. Let's say you ended up at the Penn Hospital and Kira was your doctor. Would you be comfortable with that?
No.
Me neither. I would ask for a different doctor.
100% no. Which sucks, but that's just the truth.
I don't think it sucks. Like I don't think I would assume based on what we've seen that Kira hates her life right now, that she's just like looking for a change and she thought this was a way to accomplish it. I don't know. Doctors have been through a lot the last years too, so it makes sense. Like
Guys,
she's been through a lot.
No, I don't think that I don't see any other doctors coming on like shows like this. And it's not even like The Bachelor.
I know. It's also just she was messy. Like not in like a Real Housewives messy kind of way, but in like a read the room kind of way, and the way
in a sloppy way. She seemed very sloppy.
Yes, sloppy. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I guess like on the flip side, if Sierra was my doctor, if Haley Bailey was my doctor, if Serene was my doctor, I'd probably be like, oh, that's weird. But I wouldn't be like, no. It's how she acted.
Yes, it's how she's conducting herself.
Also, really bad news for both of us.
What?
Haley Bailey's name is Haley.
I know, it's Haley.
I know. I've started the show again in the background.
Why did we both think it was Bailey?
I didn't even question it for a second. I 100%. You felt confident enough. I just want everyone to know this. We have notes on the episode. Juliet felt confident enough to go in and change it to Bailey.
I'm so sorry to our producer Jade for ever doubting you. I was sure her name was Bailey.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure. Well, we were wrong. Anyway, so Kira 100% wins most surprising person.
She is just, you put it really well. She was really sloppy. So I have to say, after Kira, number 2 for me is Romeo. I interviewed Romeo. He came on this podcast a few months ago. I was like a lot more excited about being a Juliet talking to a Romeo than he was. Side note, Jesse Palmer, stick to French, don't do a British accent. But Romeo just also didn't strike me as like someone who wanted to like bring his like mess to television. I guess the people just like all want to have fun. And I guess given the opportunity to go with friends to Mexico for free, I would as well. But I was just surprised that, first of all, that he was the first person in a love triangle, him, Jill, and Kira. And then when I interviewed him, he was like a very like even keeled, very like sort of logical person. And when he was like struggling to have a real conversation with both Jill and Kira on the daybed, I was like, oh, he's wasted. And I don't know. Not that I know Romeo personally at all, but I was just surprised by all of this.
I didn't think he was wasted at all. I don't think he's good with like turning like people. Some people aren't good at delivering bad news. And I feel like he was just trying to avoid it and was hoping Kira would just like find someone else. And then when she approached again, I felt like he was like, all right, I'm going to have to say it. And even the way he said it was very logical. He was like, I would appreciate it if you allowed me to explore this connection with Jill. Which also I'm like, what? Allow you?
I know. Like, just, yeah, I guess in some ways, like, that's respectful, but.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have just been like, I don't like you. And he clearly couldn't do it. Like, he's not good at delivering bad news, which I think just made him super uncomfortable. He even felt bad, which I did appreciate. He felt bad even saying that to Jill.
Yeah.
He was just hoping that he could somehow get out of it. And
yeah,
he had to do it.
But he obviously knew what he was signing up for when he did the show. But I want to know more about what him and Jill connected on. I mean, we know that he and Kira made out in the club, and I'd like to know more about him and Jill. And I also would like to know what club he was making out with Kira. I was going to say,
I would like to know what club. It didn't seem like he knew for sure Kira was coming to the beach.
No.
Because when he was talking to Jill, he was like, hopefully she doesn't interfere.
Yeah, so I guess they're like not on speaking terms. I don't know. I wonder if Romeo is dating anyone, because I follow him on Instagram and he seems like he had a great summer. He went to France for a month, so that seems awesome. His mother is French, so he went to visit his family.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, seriously. I know a lot about him because I follow his Instagram really closely. He moved out of his apartment, just moved to a new neighborhood.
You know too much. Too much. So Romeo and Kira, who used to be a couple, are our most surprising.
Yeah, most surprising. They're the Dos Equis most interesting people on the beach.
Yes.
Next, most desirable guy outside of Michael A.
I wouldn't choose Michael A.
Okay.
Anyway, this might be based completely off of looks for me.
I know you're going to say it, and I'm going to say it too. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Justin.
Yeah.
He seems handsome. He seems fun. Well, he is handsome.
He seemed fine without his trio too. His conversation wasn't the second time around was fine. The first conversation was weird, but also like, I don't know if I would know what a narwhal was off the top of my head. So I'm fine with that. I thought she was weird for saying that.
Yeah. I don't really know any animals, so I wouldn't know either, but I actually do know a narwhal. So there's that.
Narwhal's
But
not an animal though.
It's like he's just never heard of it. But isn't it like in some like fairy tales? Like Legend of the Narwhal?
A fairy tale. It's not real.
Right. Well, unicorns also aren't real.
Yeah, but I know what that is. It's much more common than a narwhal. Although, crazy, I asked Carter if she knew what it was the next day because I was so like thrown off by the comment. And she knew what it was.
So your 4-year-old knows more than Justin.
And me, I didn't know what it was.
Well, that's great. Sounds like she's getting a great education wherever she goes to school.
About fantasy animals. But yeah, I mean, love the way he dressed. I was totally fine with the shoes too. Obviously, you know me. Yeah, I don't know if like, I think the worst part about him was Genevieve, which sounds horrible. But like, I think she was uncomfortable too. So it was just like not a good mix, which I don't think they're going to stay together anyway. So
yeah, it's fine. I just want to like, I hope we get to know more about him. I thought the Crocs conversation was like kind of funny. I don't really know why, but I was just like, oh, like Bachelor people also care about Croc charms. Okay.
I think he is funny.
Yeah, definitely is. Yes. Where do you stand on Crocs for adults?
I'm
anti.
them, so.
Well, does he wear them because he has like foot problems? Because I was going to say my caveat is people who have jobs are on their feet all the time.
I think he thinks they're very comfortable.
Like when does he wear them? All the time?
I mean, not like to dinner.
But like just like having to run an errand or something.
Yeah, he would wear them. With sweats.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure he wants my opinion, but not sure how I feel.
I mean, I personally do not. I think they're so cute on kids.
Yeah, of course. Also, they're practical for kids. So,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. All right. Most desirable woman. There's a lot of good options. Sierra, Serene, Teddy. I think those are the top 3. Maybe Haley/Bailey if we ever got to know her. I also like Brittany from Matt's season, even though I insulted her at the beginning.
I think Brittany, I know. I thought she looked so cute.
I think she is just like seems very sweet in general.
Her personality just was very like serious.
I think she is kind of serious.
Yeah, so she's not for me. But no, I have nothing bad to say about her. She's just, I like more of a goofier person.
Yeah.
I guess it would be Serene. I think more people would be interested in Serene if she like wasn't so clearly for Brandon.
Yeah, I hear you. I think I'm gonna go with Teddy, but I think this is actually a pretty good group of women in general. I will say some people we haven't mentioned, they seem fun. Like I think Jill seems kind of like fun in the environment. I don't know that I want to be her best friend, but I feel like she seems like a good person to like keep things interesting. We'll come back to that.
A lot.
Yeah. I think Genevieve also seems like a lot, but like maybe good on the beach. I have to say I like Shanae. I thought Shanae seemed fun.
Shanae.
She's in a better place.
Yeah. She still has a little crazy in her, but.
Of course.
But yeah, she seemed good. She did not bother me at all. Also, most importantly, she seemed fine with the women, which was her biggest knock. So
totally. Well, she was instantly getting male attention and like maybe having sex. And so, that's a great start for Shanae. Why wouldn't she be happy? Which leads us to our next category. Biggest improvement from his or her original season. I mean, Shanae is definitely in the running. She's very high for me. Brandon, because I was so down on him.
I love Brandon. So not Brandon for me, but I think Shanae's probably.
Yeah, it's hard to see it.
Maybe Logan.
I kind of like Logan. We need to see more from him.
Episode 1, Logan really made me laugh and otherwise was fine. Also, it did seem like the girls were attracted to him. He's clearly very tall.
I think I'm talking myself into Logan. Now that he's like yes.
Episode 1, we did not like him for Gabby and Rachel.
Yeah.
So like this is an improvement.
It's
a huge
true.
improvement.
It's true. I think it's Logan and Shanae. You're right. All right, next. Person who seems like the worst to be on vacation with. It's a tough one. Money options once again. Lace?
I have 2. Yeah.
Lace is she just goes off the deep end really fast.
I have 3.
Okay, Lace. Who else?
Johnny's bringing nothing to the table for me.
So I don't like Johnny.
I don't dislike him. He was just like Zach. Like, are you there?
They seem really different to me. Zach seems like very needy and like needing a lot of affirmation. And that's why Rachel questioning his age was like so hard for him. Johnny just seems like he's like just a total don't give a fuck guy who's just out there for him and like wants to have a good time. Like I just think he seems like such a dick. And
I don't think he's a dick. I feel like he can't connect.
Also, there's something about him that just rubs me the wrong way.
He literally just dated someone for I don't even know how many weeks. Like he went straight from final 3 to this. So like maybe it's going to take him a minute. Like if I'm him, I probably just want a vacation too.
I don't understand why he got the rap song. I'm just like, we need to know more about this. I assume we'll find out. And then the way he seems like a real like guys guy, like he just seems like a real bro to me. And I think that's a no for me.
A turn off for you. Yeah. I'm going to give him, if he makes it, I mean, guys have the roses, so he'll be on for at least another week. I'd like to see, I'm going to give him a chance for another week. But so far, like, I don't need someone there that's like just for themselves and like not giving me anything. So that's my second person.
Okay. One thing about Johnny, at the very end, the post-credit scene, Hunter was talking about her IBS. Just no interest in that. And Johnny was talking about how he got a prostate exam and like how the Bachelor producers are like, do you understand? You just told the whole world about that. Is that embarrassing? I mean, I understand that like getting a prostate exam like involves a doctor like putting their finger up your butt. But like if you need a prostate exam, you need a prostate exam. Like what's wrong with that?
I think IBS is worse.
Yeah. And also, why did she talk about it so much?
So much.
Just like, it's just kind of gross.
Which great segue into my third person is Hunter, who we have not talked about at all to the last 10 seconds. I don't want someone on vacation with me that's an oversharer. Like, let's just have fun. You're doing too much.
It's a great point.
Especially like if you're drinking a lot. Let's say we're in like Mexico. Yeah.
I know. It's like, I don't need to know the details every time you go to the bathroom.
No, not at all. Or when you're not going to the bathroom, since somehow she has a combo, which I'm not sure how that works.
I'm picking Hunter as well. I just was like, everything about, like, clearly she really wanted to play into the IBS stuff too. Also, it seems like IBS is her personality. So like, we don't know anything else about her. So that's a real no for me.
Yeah, no.
Opposite, who's the most fun to be on vacation with in this group? I would have said Andrew before this episode, but now I think I'm going with Justin. He seems like the most fun and easygoing.
I think you just want to go on vacation with him.
Well, there's that too. Sure. But he does seem fun.
I'm still going to go with Andrew based off of TikTok and Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that he'll warm up because he hasn't
Your
been
content
on
will be
camera in
good.
a while.
Maybe he's just like starstruck.
He's a little intimidated by Teddy. So let's give him a week.
Okay.
I'm still going to go with Andrew. On the women's side, I could see like going on vacation with Sierra.
Yeah, I was going to say Sierra or Serene. I don't really like Genevieve, but Genevieve seems like a good friend, like a good event friend, like someone who just was like, we'll talk to randoms with you. So I'm like, maybe that would be good to have around. Okay. Person who has not met expectations. We've already said this about Andrew. Anyone else? I was hoping for a little bit more. I think from Logan. Just like we saw a little bit, and I want more. But I think we're gonna get it.
I think we're gonna get more. I'm fine with Logan. He at least got us back on his side.
You're right. Okay.
So I think Andrew has to give us more.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be like it'll be the biggest no-show in the history of the franchise.
Speaking of no-shows, we have not talked about Casey at all.
I mean, he seemed like fine. I don't know. Like Casey seems like very average.
I mean, the nipple rubbing thing was the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I mean,
3 different people rubbing his nipples is odd on night one.
Yeah, I guess. Again, I just think they just drink so much.
I don't think drinking has made me be like, yeah, definitely want to rub a nipple.
But Callie, you also would never go on this show.
Especially not a guy's nipple. Yeah.
I know. I don't really get that either. Although maybe they're just trying to like turn the tables on him. I don't know. I don't know at all. I can't explain it. But
I think she's in a bad place after Romeo, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. I mean, poor Kira.
Wait, by the way, I know we've really beat a dead horse on this, but I thought it was really funny when Jill had a few funny moments. I will give her that. I thought Rickety Bitch was funny. And when she was like, what is happening? She's a physician. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. That's such a good point.
Jill's a good narrator. I like her as like a TV character.
Mid-argument to say that is just, she's really thinking on her toes.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. I think Jill seems fun. I should have mentioned her as like wanting to go on vacation with her. Not wanting to, but would be fun. I don't know.
She was a little off the rocker for a little bit there, but her commentary was one of the funnier ones out of both sides.
I will say I think she should be the recipient of our person who has exceeded expectations superlative because she showed out. She without her, did we have an episode 1? I mean, she was a big part of it.
Also, like from Clayton's season to this is a huge jump.
Huge. Yeah, absolutely huge. Other than Bailey and Haley and Casey, Haley, and Casey. Anyway, and I guess Brittany. Who else were you really unfamiliar with? I mean, I guess there was a bunch. I've just listed so many, but like
I didn't know. I knew who Casey was.
Well, yeah, but like I just like forgot about him.
I knew who Casey was. I knew who Hunter was. I knew who Joe was. I truly have no idea who Haley Bailey is. And Brittany didn't look familiar, but looked like she belonged.
Unfortunately, she looks like playing the type. But she looks, I mean, the thing that she's most known for in the show is that Anna called her an escort and like started these rumors about her. And she also came in like in the Michelle batch of women for Matt's season. So she's just like starting behind the 8 ball, which is a bummer. That's not on her though. But I mean, obviously Haley and Bailey, we had no idea who she was. All right, last one. Person you forgot was going to be there that you were excited to see. I had completely forgotten about Serene. I'm going to be honest. And so when she was first on the beach, I was like, oh, great. I forgot about her. I don't know, like a lot of Clayton's women, I just totally forgot about.
I think I was really excited to see Brandon.
Okay.
And then like for him to walk down there and do that dance, I was just like, he is back. Let's go. Also, Serene really wanting him. I was just like, of course, the hottest girl on the beach wants him. Like it was just like all systems go for Brandon, episode 1.
One person we haven't talked about is Wells, who's back as the bartender. I was kind of surprised I didn't like play that up more. There wasn't that much Wells action. I feel like this was the best Wells performance yet, though. Like he actually like had a purpose. Like he made the lace birthday joke happen. He listened for Romeo. Like I feel like they're actually using him more than they used to, and I actually think it's working. I like it.
I think he gets the role.
Yeah, it only took several years.
I've liked him though since I think maybe the first season I was just like, that's random. But since then, like everyone loves him.
Yeah. He just got married, him and Sarah Hyland. So
yeah.
It's she's the host of Love Island USA.
Yeah.
So this is their business. Reality dating shows.
I don't know if it's for her, but
maybe she needs to get behind the bar.
Him. Definitely works for him. It's a great fucking job.
Totally. I mean, I wonder how much he makes for the 3 weeks he has to do this job. Seems great.
It also has to have gone up every week. And he's probably staying in air conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's got a great setup.
Next week we got Victoria Fuller coming in from Peter's season. That's a real blast from the past. That's good casting. I'm happy she's coming. She's
great.
She's got
casting.
some issues, but yeah, get her in the mix. She's going to cause trouble. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think it's just her? We have to get a guy too, right? Like
Yeah.
after the rose ceremony?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, this episode was a slow burn. Took a while to get into it. Didn't help that we started with Hunter on the toilet. But now I'm into it and I'm like ready to go.
I was like thrilled to press play.
Me too. I was like, great. I have some free time. I'm going to use it to watch Paradise. Let's go.
And it's just such a better setup for me mentally.
Of course. Yeah. Jade and I were discussing this before the show. One of the reasons it's like so much fun is like nothing's really going to come out about any of these people that we don't already know. It's like no one's, you know, like no one's texts like are like going to be a problem. Like I don't think any of these people are going to have a really like just awful yearbook photo. Like it's just there's like
if
less.
there was a yearbook photo, it's already out.
Yeah. And they're probably not on the show if there was, although Victoria Fuller's got some weird stuff in her past. But anyway, it's just like a lot easier to watch this because it's just more lighthearted. It's what we want.
Also, I think we said this on a recent pod, but for us not feeling good about Logan, for nothing to come out about him is pretty great.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, the man didn't even have COVID? Like, what's going on?
I'm pretty sure he flew straight from the boat to Paradise, so he did not have COVID.
That's a great point, too. We got to get to the bottom of that. Well, it's Paradise season, everybody. It feels great. Thank you so much to Jade Whaley, who knew that her name was Haley, not Bailey. And we'll be back next week.